Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching all of our videos. Right now we're just going to kind of talk about and do an overview and conclusion of all of our different subtopics and religions. So starting off with marriages, what are some things that you guys' religions did during?
Well, for marriage in Hinduism, there were a lot of ceremonies. I feel like for every aspect of Hinduism, there are just like many different parts. So for marriage in Hinduism, like the ceremonies go on and on and on, and the ceremonies, there are so many that the process of a wedding lasts an entire day. So how does that differ, or how is that similar to your guys' religions?
Well, in my religion, marriages is more of a personal concern, so that it's not the parents' decision at all, and it's only the people getting married deciding who they want to marry and if they do want to marry. And marriage is a big thing in Buddhism, and there is a lot of different celebrations, and also after the marriage, there's a party. Yeah, what about yours?
Well, for Islam, they consider marriage both a religious and legal ceremony, so they're kind of two different aspects that they have to cover. But something that's probably one of the biggest parts is the ceremony after the wedding, because that kind of shows everyone that that knows the married couple that they are kind of together and they've committed their lives to one another. So, like, before people get married, is there, like, do they have to be virgins? Are they set up by their parents? Like, how does that work in Hinduism?
Well, usually they are, just by, if they live by their religion their entire life, then they usually are virgins.
Yeah, us too.
There's a stereotype of forced or child marriages in these religions, but that's not necessarily true. Usually the marriages are set up by the parents because women and men don't get much contact with each other.
That's exactly the same in Islam.
But there's the stereotype of forced marriages is untrue. So moving on to beginning of life. How was beginning of life in Buddhism?
In Buddhism, there's no special celebrations that people do, but they kind of follow local customs. Like when the child is able to go outside, they will take the child to a temple to get them blessed, but there isn't any special things that they do right when the baby is born.
In Islam, some of the stuff they do, it's not any crazy stuff, but they do a few things. On the 6th or 7th day of birth, they shave the baby's head, which shows that the baby's a servant of Allah, and then they turn in the weight of the hair in silver, and they also sacrifice a sheep and deliver the meat to friends and relatives.
In Hinduism, they have similar baby ceremonies, and before the 3rd month of pregnancy, they usually have a fetus protection ceremony, which is just to ensure a healthy pregnancy. And after the baby is born, they shave the head, which is the first haircut, and they also pierce the ears, which is they do on both genders, and it's very important in the Hindu religion. So also when the baby is first born, the ceremony of placing honey in the mouth and speaking God's name in the ears is very important to them, because Hindus, they want to ensure that the Hindu race continues, and they just want their religion to live on. So
yeah, in Islam, actually the first taste needs to be sweet, so a date is rubbed on their gums, and the call to prayer is whispered in their ear by their father, which is also the first thing that the child must hear. Okay, so holidays. For Islam, the major one is Ramadan, and that happens in the 9th Islamic month, which happens for us, just over here, from June 28th to July 28th, and this is just a time for fasting, which means no food, just basically no bad deeds, and it's just a time for additional prayer, readings of the Quran, and kind of cleansing and making sure you just don't do anything bad. What's a major holiday for you guys?
In Hinduism, it's mainly about Diwali, which is the festival of lights, which happens in autumn. The interesting thing about Hinduism is that there are so many holidays that if you were to combine them all on one calendar, there would be one on almost every single day.
Wow.
Which I think is interesting because depending on the area where you live and which god you focus on, it just dictates which holidays you celebrate, because there are so many different holidays. How about Buddhism?
Yeah.
It's funny because Buddhism is kind of the opposite. Buddhism has less holidays than Hinduism and Christianity. The major holiday in Buddhism is Wesak, and this is a holiday based on the Buddha. And so most of the holidays in Buddhism is based off the Buddha and his life.
We worked hard, learned a lot, and had a lot of fun. We hope you guys enjoyed, and congratulations on almost finishing finals.
Woo!
Click here to see some crazy bloopers.
Right there.
Click here to view the intro. No, don't we have to link to the intro, right?
No!